you fished your ear? Welcome back to my channel. You may notice something slightly different about me. The big slug right here. It is of course Movember right now. I am doing Movember, as you can see. I'm kind of going for the look of the guy out of the group Little Big in the Skibidi video. So you might see later this month a video of me doing the old Skibidi dance. We'll see how that goes. I do have a donation page. I'll try and put the link in the description if I've set it up by now. If not, I can always have it later. It'll be there eventually. I am doing Movember in honour of my friend Jamie Arnold, who passed away, or died, I think you'd prefer that term, at the start of this year, in February. He had a short battle with cancer. He attended our wedding last year in August, and just a few months later I got the news from him that he had between 2 and 6 weeks, I think, no, 2 weeks and 2 months basically they gave him. He did last a little bit longer, but unfortunately he did die in February. It was a very sad loss. He was only 29 years old. He was one of my best friends, looked after me through a very difficult time, helped me through a very difficult time, kept my spirits up when, well, let's not get into that. But top bloke. Buy his socks. He has ASOS have actually released a range of socks in his honour, in his favourite colours. He liked to wear these bright chinos with brightly coloured socks. It was one of his trademarks. You know, he was a wonderful chap. Really miss him. So, in his name, I'm raising money for a charity that's close to his and his wife's heart. Like I say, link will be in the description, hopefully. But that's what this is for. We're halfway through the month. Not bad, I think, for halfway through. Anyway, back on topic. Despite the moustache, actually, you know, this moustache makes me look like my brother. So that's kind of retro in a way. Back on topic, right? I've said before about handheld games. I recently acquired from my dad's my old collection of handheld games, and they included these beauties. I'm talking, of course, about Nintendo's Game & Watch range. Now, there were loads, different ones available. The first one I got was Snoopy Tennis. This is from 1982. It's a single screen LCD, and basically you play the part of Snoopy and you have to bat the balls back. Charlie Brown hits them toward you, you bat them back. Occasionally Lucy appears and hits them back to you again. You move up and down the tree and whack them back. Very simple, very straightforward. Tantalisingly difficult once you get above a certain number of points. You know, you get like 3-4 balls on the go at once. It gets very difficult very quickly. These are called Game & Watches for a reason. This actually has a stand on the back, so you can actually stand it on your chest of drawers next to your bed. You can use it as an alarm. The batteries lasted approximately a year in it, LR44 batteries. The next one I acquired, this one's from 1983, is Donkey Kong 2. Now, you look at that and what do you think? You think Nintendo DS? Yeah, it really does look like an early version of a Nintendo DS. On the back is a few other games that were available there. There's loads more besides this. Besides what you can see here, there are probably about 100 or more different games available in the Game & Watch series. This was one of my favourites. So this one is kind of like the old arcade classic. You start here, you have to make your way avoiding the crocodiles and the electric bits, zappy things. Climb up here, avoid more electric zappy things up here, avoid the crows to grab the key and unlock the 4 locks, returning back down to the start where, you know, you have to pass the key up basically from here to the lock. Then eventually you then catch Donkey Kong at the side. The third one I got, probably the best one. This was made a lot way. I'm surprised actually how long this range of games was going. This one is from 1987. This is Bomb Sweeper. Just the directional pad on this, no extra buttons, no action buttons. It doesn't really need to be a double screen game, to be honest. All the action happens on the bottom screen. So that's what it looks like, and basically you have to find your way around the map. You can push walls as long as there's not another wall in the way to get to the bombs. Got to do it within the time, and that's it. Very simple idea, but the simple ideas, just like Tetris with handheld gaming, made the biggest splash, made a name for themselves. So yeah, this is undoubtedly my favourite. So this is the one we're going to look at. I will look at the others in more detail, but for today, this is the one we're going to look at. Now, I got this Christmas. I can't remember what year, to be honest. All the family enjoyed playing this, to be honest. We had a bit of a competition going for high scores. I don't know if I'm ever be quite as good as I was at it. I don't think I'll ever be quite as good at it now as I was back in the day. But let's have a look inside. Okay, so inside the box you have polystyrene. There's the game itself. Holes in the back to make it easy to push out. Right, well designed, these things, right? So you push it out. There's the game itself. Come back to that. You always got one of these little Game & Watch is a precision thing. Do not tamper and stuff. Do not touch the little connector between the screens. I mean, just like a Nintendo DS, that was the fragile part. That was your connection between the top and the bottom screens. You also got with it these, which are little stickers that you use to hold the battery cover in place on the back of the machine. I don't think I ever actually used them, but yeah, there's the battery cover. You basically were to place the sticker there, because these batteries, like I said, last a year. So clamshell design, open it up. Oh, it's beautiful, look at that. It's in really good condition, this one, and I really hope this does come out on the video. You can actually see what's going on here. Lovely bleepy bloopy sound effects. And he told it this way, don't I? And that's it. And they were pocket sized. I mean, that would easily fit in your pocket, smaller than most mobile phones. I mean, here's a mobile phone case, here's a game. Look at that. They actually were pocket sized, not like mobile phones are these days. They've got bigger. Not much more to be said other than let's have a closer look at it and let's play a game. So here's the game in all its LCD glory. Beautiful graphics. Really does look like a DS from this angle. And the basic premise is find your way around the maze, get to the bombs. You can push walls out of the way, but only where there is no wall already in place. You can't push more than one wall at once. So if it's blocked by another wall, you can't move it. A nice little introduction thing. This was a thing of games back then, a little scene setting, scenario developing cutscene, as it were, on an LCD. A cutscene on an LCD. Hey, who would have thought it? So yeah, you play the character John Solver and find your way around the maze. On this first level, you can't really push any walls. You just cause yourself no end of pain because you will get stuck. But as you can see here now, I pushed one wall. I couldn't move it any further because there's another wall obstructing it. Just get to the bomb. That's all you have to do. Here, you can follow the maze round or take a little shortcut, get a bigger time bonus by pushing a couple of walls. Dead simple, dead straightforward. Game A, it's a set sequence of levels. You get the same levels every time. You play the first 10, then you have a bonus stage, and then you replay the last 5 and then the next 5. Some levels have 2 bombs like this one, but notice that one on the right there is impossible to get to. Don't worry, you only need to get to 1 to win the level. Normally, when you get 2 bombs, they're next to each other. So like in this case here, for example, to figure out how to get around the maze, I might push a wall against one, and it doesn't matter. Game B, the levels are randomly generated out of a set number of different levels, and they can be rotated round as well, by the way, and mirrored and flipped. But your time limit decreases level by, well, I think it's every few levels you'll lose a few seconds. So basically, I'm pretty sure you end up with about 4 seconds to complete a level, which is ridiculous. You've got to know which way you're going very, very quickly. Game A, there was always a point, I'm sure, where I used to get stuck. I might have to play through and try and get to that level. See what it looks like. I think this is level 10 now. I've lost count, to be honest. But, you know, nothing too taxing so far. Get to the bomb there. And hopefully at this point we should get... Oh, you got to love that little ditty on the beeper speaker there. So this is like a scrolling bonus level. Now, it's not difficult. Basically, you don't move any of the vertical walls. You don't have a problem getting to the end. There's always at least one gap to get through. Now, what I used to do, and I'm doing it here now, is just to set myself an extra challenge, I would push all the horizontal walls up and down out of the way and try and get to the end of the level having done that. You don't get any bonus points for that. You don't have to do that. I give up now because I'm playing on one finger instead of on my thumb, so obviously it's not as easy. But yeah, that's what I used to do, was push all them little horizontal walls to the top and the bottom, just because I could, and still get to the end. At the top there, the timer is counting down towards the end, so you can see when we get down to 5, there is literally no more walls coming. There'll be a little gap and a bomb. You can, at this point, have a rest. You can sit there and wait to take that bomb, just recharge your batteries and take on the next one. Nice little time bonus, and you start again. And that really is the basic premise of the game. That's why it's so playable, because it's so simple and straightforward. If you do get fed up, just press the time button and back you go to the main screen. So that was Bomb Sweeper. Handheld game, 1987, Nintendo Game & Watch series. Like I said, dead simple game. So simple game. Really not very much to it at all. But that's the beauty of games back then. We weren't expecting flashy graphics and cutscenes and all that. We wanted to be entertained, and the gameplay was so much more important. And even on an LCD game like this, where the frames of animation are so limited, you know, there's very little you can actually do with the screen. But what they do with it is make a game that is addictive and fun to play, challenging even. And that's the beauty of games back in the 80s and 90s. That's what we wanted. We wanted arcade style, action based, or exciting or fun or engaging gameplay without the flashy graphics. We weren't bothered about it back then. We're spoiled these days. We're happy with graphics. I'm not necessarily too bothered about the gameplay. Bring back the old days. Anyway, it's enough from me. Thanks very much. I'll see you in the next one. Hi folks, thanks for watching my video. You made it to the end, well done. If you like what you just saw, why don't you leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, share my video, do all the above. But whatever you do, I hope to see you in the next one. Hasta la vista.